If you live in Europe and own crypto, the exchange you're using today could be forced to change how it operates in just a few days. And there is a good chance most people don't even know it's happening. On July 1st, one of the biggest crypto regulations in history reaches a critical deadline. Some platforms are ready, others aren't. And the changes could affect everything from the exchange you use to the stablecoins you hold, to how crypto operates across Europe in the future. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly what MiCA is, what happens after July 1st, which exchanges could be affected, what it means for stablecoins like USDT, and whether this is actually good or bad for crypto. Let's get into it. First, what exactly is MiCA? So, MiCA stands for Markets in Crypto Assets, and it is the European Union's first comprehensive crypto regulation. For years, crypto companies operated under a patchwork of rules. Different countries, different regulators, different requirements. A company could be registered in one country and face completely different rules in another. MiCA changes this. The European Union wants one rule book, one framework, one licensing system, one set of standards. And on paper, that sounds reasonable. But here's where things get interesting. When MiCA officially came into force, crypto companies were given a transition period, a grace period, time to apply for license and become compliant. That transition period ends on July 1st, 2026, in few days at the time of this recording. And according to the European regulators, there will be no more extensions, no exceptions, no last-minute delayed. If the company does not have the proper authorization, it may no longer legally offer crypto service to customers in Europe. Now, here's the statistics that really caught my attention. According to industry estimates, around 60% of European crypto users may currently be using platforms that do not yet have full MiCA authorization. Think about that. More than half, and many people don't even know. They downloaded an app, they opened an account, they bought Bitcoin, they bought Ethereum, they have digital assets and assumed everything was fine. But after July 1st, some of those platforms may need to make major changes. Now let's clean up one misconception immediately. MiCA does not mean your Bitcoin disappears. It does not mean your Ethereum disappears, and it does not mean governments are confiscating crypto. That's not what the regulation does. The real issue is access. If a platform cannot legally operate, it may have to stop serving customers. It may need to offboard users. It may restrict services, or it may decide to leave Europe entirely. So the risk isn't necessarily your crypto. The risk is where your crypto is being held. And that's why this matters a lot. Now let's talk about stablecoins, because this is where the things get very interesting. The largest stablecoin in the world is USDT, also known as Tether. Billions of dollars move through USDT every single day. But Tether has not pursued MiCA authorization, and that has created a problem for regulated exchanges. Many exchanges have already started limiting USDT service for European users. Coinbase and Kraken and Crypto.com, Binance eventually, all have made adjustments in response to the new rule. As a result, many investors are now hearing more about USDC because USDC is positioned to operate within the new framework. And that's why this isn't just a regulatory story, it's also a competition story, because regulation creates winners and regulations also creates losers. By the way, if you're finding value in this, please hit the like and subscribe. I make this video to help people cut through the noise and understand what is really happening in crypto in very simple way. It takes 2 seconds. Thank you. Let's get back to it. Now, here's the most important part. Why banks might actually love MiCA. Whether people hear the word regulation, they immediately think it's bad for crypto. And I understand why. Crypto was built on freedom, decentralization, permissionless innovation. So regulation sounds like the opposite. But let's look at the other side. Banks like certainty. Pensions fund like certainty, and legal institutions like certainty. One of the biggest barriers to institutions adoption has always been regulatory uncertainty. The rules weren't clear. The responsibilities weren't clear. The risks weren't clear. But MiCA changed that. For the first time, many institutions have a framework they can actually understand. Now, that doesn't guarantee adoption. And it doesn't mean every rule is good, but it does remove one of the biggest excuses institutions have used for years. Of course, there is another side to the argument. Critics say MiCA creates huge costs for smaller companies. They argue that startups will struggle, innovation could slow down, and power could become concentrated in the hands of a small number of large players. And that's what Bitcoin was created and fighting in the first place: freedom and decentralization. Those concerns are totally valid because compliance is expensive, lawyers are expensive, licensing is expensive, and large companies can often absorb those costs more easily than small startups. Do we really need that? That's one of the biggest debates happening right now. Is MiCA protecting consumers? Is it really? Or is it making life harder for innovation? I would lean to the second one. And that's why I believe this story is much bigger than most people realize. This isn't really a story about exchange. It isn't really a story about stablecoin either. And it isn't even really a story about regulation. It's a story about crypto growing up. The industry is moving from the frontier markets into a regulated financial market. And whether you love that idea or hate it, the transition is already happening. Now here's my view. I don't believe MiCA will kill crypto. It will limit, make it harder. But Bitcoin survived exchange collapses, bear markets, bank failures, regulatory attacks, all of that, and countless predictions of its death. Crypto has proven incredibly resilient. What MiCA will do is change who survives. Some companies will adapt, some won't. Some will become stronger, some will disappear. That's how every major industry evolves. So here's my question for you. Is your exchange MiCA compliant? Do you even know? Drop the name of your exchange in the comment below. Let's see which platform people are using. And let's discuss whether you think MiCA is good for crypto or whether Europe is going too far. As I always repeat, not your keys, not your coins. Self-custody. If you don't know what self-custody is, please watch my videos. If you practice self-custody, all of this doesn't matter. If you found this video useful, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you don't miss future updates. And also follow me on X for daily crypto news and join our Telegram community. We are growing there. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Lamia and I'll see you in the next one.